Taurus, this June, your journey to self-love unlocks confidence and clarity like never before. This is a month where speaking your truth and embracing joy could open doors to new love, creativity, and even your true soul path. Hey Taurus, I'm Lindsay with Love, and if you are new to my channel, I'm a Western tropical zodiac astrologer, and I'm here on this earth to transform your life. I do that by reminding you how energetically powerful you truly are. And typically, Taurus, this does involve some releasing of limiting beliefs and a bit of reprogramming of the subconscious mind so you can actually start to manifest your dream reality. So let's get going, Taurus. We're going to look at the general transits in the sky for you and how they're going to impact you. And then we'll jump into the chart and I will show you kind of week by week the aspects and kind of how the month is going to unfold. But Taurus, I do want to remind you that these are energetic potentials in the sky, and I do view astrology as an awareness tool. So it is up to you to be an active participant in creating your reality, which means using the energy, really using it and taking action so you can start to manifest all of your dreams. So when we go through all of this, I will be giving you examples of how to use the energy in the highest vibration so you can actually take action and start progressing toward your dream life. So let's go, Taurus. All right, Taurus, let's kick it off. Let's start with Mercury. We'll go to Venus, then we'll go to Mars, Jupiter, we'll talk about the moons, and then we will get into the week by week. All right, Taurus, let's get going. We're gonna start with Mercury, the planet of communication and your intellect. Starting off the month in your second house of money and in your second house of your gifts and your talents. So you could be focused in at the beginning of the month, Taurus, on creating a plan to receive more money, earn more money, create more money. This is a time where I would recommend that if you have some sort of curiosity about a skill or learning a skill, I recommend you go follow that curiosity, because it could be that you kind of uncover a hidden talent of yours that you didn't know you had, and this talent is going to earn you more money. It's a time where you're focused on material comforts, you're focused on security, and you really got, it's like you've got your mind on your money and your money on your mind type of vibe. And then on the 8th of June, Mercury enters into Cancer, into your third house, and now you're focused in on really communicating. You're focused in on your intellectual pursuits. Perhaps you decide to study something new. You might be taking this hobby that you were curious about and really like learning it, really like honing in on your craft. It's a time where you might be more connected and communicating with your siblings. You might take a short trip somewhere, kind of weekend getaway type of vibe. And it's also a time where you could connect with somebody from your past, like a childhood friend, somebody from a neighborhood that you grew up in even. And Taurus, if you are in the business of, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in the business of marketing, communicating, selling, this is a really great time to do that. Really promote yourself, promote your value, promote your intellect and your gifts and your talents and all those beautiful things. Then on the 26th, Mercury enters now into your fourth house of your home and family. And this is a time where you're focused in on home life. You could be receiving news about your home, news about a physical home if you're looking or in the market to buy. It could be news about you selling your home. It could be that you're focused in on your family routines, trying to create some efficiencies or better routines there. And you might also receive news about your mother, because the fourth house does involve the mother. It's a great start to the month, Taurus, but what about Venus, the planet of love and money? Well, Venus starts off in your 12th house. And Venus in the 12th house is bringing you a sense of self-love, right? Because the 12th house is the culmination of all. It's a healing house. It is your connection with the divine. It's your faith. It's your trust. It's your big dreams and your wishes come true. And so it's a time where you could really be filling yourself up with some self-love. It's a time where you could be connecting with your faith, really cultivating your faith. It's a good time to do some introspective work, do some meditation, do some journaling, spend some time alone, really get right with yourself and build that connection, build that relationship with your higher self. Remember, Taurus, that everybody has a higher self, but it's up to us, like from the physical perspective, to start the relationship and then to grow the relationship. So we've got to take the initiative here and say hello to our higher self, talk to our higher self, so we can start to build that relationship. And then, Taurus, when the higher self gives us guidance, take action. And that's how you build that level of trust with the higher self. And that's also how you start to cultivate your own faith. And when you have your faith and when you have trust in your higher self, ooh, you are unstoppable, Taurus. So take that. That's Venus starting off in your 12th house. Now, in a more tangible way, Venus is the energy of money, and the 12th house is the energy of international business. So you could be wheeling and dealing, making some business moves there as well. And then on the 6th, Venus enters into your first house. And now you have this energy of love and money in your house of who you are, your I am presence. And this is the energy of you being super magnetic, very charismatic. You might feel inclined to change up your physical appearance. Venus does rule the energy of beauty. So you could be changing up your hair, your clothing style, how you show up from a physical appearance so that somebody or others perceive you in a different manner. And it's also a really powerful time to step onto a new path if you've been thinking about that, Taurus, and a path that has a heart. And this is something that I learned recently through the teachings of Don Juan by Carlos Castaneda, which is that the right path to follow is the path that has a heart, which means one that's full of love, one that actually ignites your soul on fire. Why? Because even if it doesn't lead to riches or your biggest dream come true, it's a fulfilling path. And I think that's super powerful and beautiful in and of itself. And that is the energy of Venus hanging out in your first house through the remainder of the month, Taurus. So you're full of self-love, and then we've got to know what to do with it, what action to take. Well, Mars starts off in your 4th house of your home and your family, Taurus. It's likely that you have been moving and grooving with Mars in your 4th house. You're renovating, you're organizing, you are donating, cleaning. This is like spring cleaning type of energy. This is like really kind of taking charge in the house as well. You might have found yourself a little bit more bossy or a little bit more authoritative in your home life with Mars here in the 4th house. Then on the 17th, Mars shifts now into your 5th house. And this is just so beautiful because Mars, the planet of action, in your 5th house of fun, of life's pleasures, of truly enjoying your life. And you've got Venus here, remember, in your 1st house, filling your path with love, Mars taking action to create joy. It's so beautiful, Taurus. It's going to be a really great month for you, I think. So Mars in the 5th house is also indicative of being a little bit more physical. So maybe being more into sports or playing sports, doing kind of like fun date nights that are more like physical, like, I don't know, going bowling or playing, like going to play pickleball or going to an arcade, or it's that kind of a vibe versus maybe just like sitting down at a romantic dinner. This is a time too where you might be a little bit more assertive and a little bit more bold as it relates to a romantic partner. Or maybe if you've had your eye on somebody and you're interested in them, you might make the move because Mars is hanging out in this 5th house of romance. Also, Taurus, the 5th house of children. So if you're making the first move in romance, be mindful, right? Because children could be the result of that as well. So it's something to think about there. And if you are an entrepreneur or super creative, this is a time to really ignite yourself and channel that energy into your creative pursuits or your entrepreneurial endeavors because you're really fueled now at this time in those areas of life. And it's also a time where you might be a little bit bolder in your self-expression, more courageous, more kind of just like putting yourself out there in general. Taurus, before we move on to Jupiter, the planet of abundance and expansion, switching signs this month, make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're a Taurus or you know one in your life. All right, Taurus, Jupiter has been hanging out for the last year in your 2nd house of money. So you were likely having a really great time in the money zone. Maybe your bank account was expanding drastically over the last year. I hope that's the case, Taurus. But if not, then perhaps you were working on honing in on your gifts and your talents, really harnessing your natural abilities and figuring out how to monetize them perhaps. And if that was not your focus for the last year with Jupiter in your 2nd house, then it could have been that you were working on your worthiness and really understanding, Taurus, that you are worthy because you exist, period. There is nothing you need to do to prove, to be, to act, to whatever, to be worthy. You are worthy because you're here. And it could be that you are working on understanding that, and not just understanding it intellectually, but embracing it and integrating that belief into your energetic body. And if that's the case, it's very beautiful too. On the 9th of this month, Jupiter, I'm looking at my notes because I want to make sure I get the dates right. Jupiter enters into your third house of communication, of marketing, of sales, of promoting yourself, of learning and studying. And so it's a time over the next year where it's likely that you're expanding your knowledge base some way, somehow. It wouldn't surprise me if you start studying something in a very kind of deep level. You're really taking on new research, a new way of communication, learning even a new language, something like that. This is a time with Jupiter in the third house where if you are in sales and marketing, or if you are an entrepreneur, I mean, tell people about your business. Tell everybody that you know, that you meet, hey, I'm a business owner. This is what I do. Share your knowledge, share your value, share your skills in a vocal way, right? This, or in a written way as well. This is you really communicating out what you bring to the world, and because you're okay and you are brave enough to communicate it out, you will receive rewards because of it. All right, Taurus, let's talk about the moons, and then we will get on to the week by week reading. There is a full moon happening in your 8th house on the 10th of June, and this full moon in the 8th house is asking you to release or get cool with, accept it for what it is, a deep-seated fear, something that you perhaps know that's been holding you back, that it's time to like truly like let it go. The 8th house of your own personal development, of you transcending into higher frequencies. And how do you do that? You do that by healing, which means you're facing your fears. You're saying, you know what, this happened. I'm okay with it. I can accept it for what it is. It made me stronger. It helped me grow. Now, the 8th house also does involve joint accounts and resources. So it could be that there are shifts or changes as it relates to a joint account. This could be a joint account, that like a bank account with your partner. This could be investment accounts. It could be settlement money. It could be insurance claims, things like that. And then Taurus, on the 25th, there is a new moon happening in your 3rd house. And I personally love a new moon in the 3rd house because when I think about the 3rd house, I really think about Mercury, and I think about this idea between the thoughts and the speech in really strong alignment. And when your thoughts and your speech are in alignment, all you need to do is add some heart to it and take aligned action, and you have got the perfect manifesting formula for success. So this is a powerful manifesting energy. Use your thoughts and your speech, put them into alignment, and declare out to the universe what it is you want. Script it out in your journal, a day in the life of, let it be known, because when you are brave enough to say what it is you want to the universe in simple, clear, concise, direct manner, Taurus, the universe is going to say, you know what, hell yeah, fortune favors the brave, and there you go, Taurus. You are getting everything you desire and probably more. All right, Taurus, let's get into the week by week. I am here with you. I've got my computer here. I've got notes over here. This is the first time I'm doing it this way, so bear with me. I'm going to annotate. I'm going to show you kind of how the chart moves as we progress. If you look down here in the corner of the screen, I'm going to circle it for you now. You can see this is the date. This is the chart for that date. And then as we progress, the chart will move. So let's get going. And Taurus, before we actually start, I do want to remind you that I am not at all a doom and gloom astrologer. In fact, I look at tensions like squares and oppositions in the sky as opportunity for your soul's growth and evolution. I don't live a life with problems. I don't live a life with challenges. I live a life of opportunity for growth, for transformation, for creating my dream life, because I know the power of my words. So I share with you from a very positive aspect, from a reframe to positivity, because when you can program your subconscious mind to the positive, that is when you will actually truly succeed. So remember, your thoughts create your reality, your speech creates your reality. So that's why we're going to look at it from a very positive perspective. All right, let's go, Taurus. Let's get this show on the road. So I'm starting off with week 1 of June 1st through the 8th. And I'm calling this the week of good vibes and positive transformation. And this is why. We can start off by looking right here. We've got Saturn here, and we've got Neptune in conjunction. What does that mean? It means their energies are amplifying and they're merging in your 12th house of your spiritual essence. This is the energy Saturn of maturity, emotional intelligence, discipline, responsibility, in harmony and amplification with and merging of your spiritual essence, of your dreams and your wishes fulfilled. To me, this symbolizes in the very highest expression your ability to bring your dreams down to earth.
Now it's happening for you in your 12th house of your dreams and your wishes fulfilled, but not just your 12th house of that, but your 12th house of your spiritual essence. This is connection to the divine. It would not surprise me if you go through, or if you have your first spiritual awakening with this energy here, or if you have a deepening of your spirituality, a deepening of an understanding of spirituality, of understanding how you manifest, specifically you, Taurus, manifest. It's that type of energy. And you've got it sextiling in this nice harmonious aspect to Pluto up in your 10th house of career. So it's almost like something to do with your job. Like, Pluto is change, it's healing, it's regeneration, it's transformation in your 10th house of career, but you're bringing your dreams down to earth. I mean, are you creating a new business? Are you putting yourself out there as a spiritual person? The 10th house is social reputation. So it could be that you're letting it be known that you have like the spiritual gift, the spiritual knowledge, and maybe you're taking it to the masses. Maybe you're starting a business with it. It's something like that. It's like combining your spirituality with your career here. And that, by the way, is happening. We'll go down to this calendar, which I showed you earlier. Let me circle it one more time so you remember where it's at, right here, down in the corner, and you can watch it. This is going to happen. I mean, I'm calling it just this week, but do you notice how the planets Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto are barely moving? Why? Because they're outer planets. So this is going to be happening for months. This kind of opening up of this idea around your career, your spiritual essence, building your dream life. So let it be, let it unfold as it may. It's not going to be some big burst of energy. It's not going to be super dramatic. It's going to be kind of an unfolding of. So let's get back to June 1st, because that's not just what's happening this week. I mean, there's so much more to go. I better talk faster or talk less. This could be hours. I won't do that to you, I promise. Okay, so the next thing we've got going on in week one, the first through the fifth, we've got Venus in Aries. We've got Venus here in your 12th house, sextile Jupiter over here in your third house. So Venus sextile Jupiter, this is money, luck in the sky. And it's also kind of like feel good expansion type of energy. So powerful manifesting energy. Venus, remember you got your love energy in your spiritual house, conjunct Jupiter, expansion and abundance in your communication house. I could see it that you might receive some sort of spiritual guidance that leads you to abundance. It's that type of energy. From a tangible perspective, you might be once again making some international deals, some backroom negotiation type deals where just leads to a really strong abundance. Um, you might hear news from somebody, something to do with your neighborhood, your community, that leads you to like a kiss of money, a quick drip of money right into your bank account type of vibes. So that's nice there. That's happening all week, by the way. And let's keep it going. Good vibes and positive transformation, because we've got Mercury here in your second house, Gemini. Mercury in Gemini. Mercury's happy in Gemini, right? Very strong in Gemini. Sextiling. Oh boy, these circles are bad. Sextiling, it is what it is. Let the perfectionist tendencies go, right? Sextiling Mars in your fourth house. Okay, so we've got Mercury in the second, money, Mars in the fourth, family, home life, with this nice harmonious aspect. You have an idea, you want to take action. It relates to your money and your home. This is maybe are you creating like a family business? Are you creating plans around like a homestead, around like around building a family? Are you trying to figure out, like, from a monetary perspective, what it will take for you to have the family you want, the house you want, the move you want to make as it relates to where you live, the lifestyle you live? It's that type of vibe happening here. Um, and it's good. It's like you receive some information maybe around money, and it propels you into action around your family life. Something to do with news around home and family, news around money, news around your gifts and talents. Like, once again, you could discover that you have some sort of gift or talent as it relates to something to do with the home. I mean, are you a home renovator? Are you a landscape architect? Are you going to be a real estate agent? And you've got this talent, this knack for whatever this is that deals with perhaps the land, home life, families, and it's going to bring you a lot of money. I mean, it could go that way too. So think about that, Taurus, right? If you've got some sort of desire on your heart in that way, it's time to put it into action, and time to take action. Now, I didn't show you because I didn't slide the dates over, but keep your eye on Mercury down at the bottom of the chart. I had it circled just a second ago. It looks like the little man with the antennas. And you'll see, oops, this is stopped for a second. You can see down in the calendar down at the bottom of the screen on the right, as I move, you still got Mercury sextile Mars in the sky, right? But if you notice on around the 5th through the 8th, Mercury starts to get closer to Jupiter down there. So it's like expansion type ideas, like big ideas, big money ideas, big news, abundance ideas. Like it's kind of go big or go home, and you're like ready to go forward. You're like, okay, enough's enough. I'm doing the damn thing already. And that's very exciting. So go for it, Taurus. What are you waiting for? Oops, sorry. All right, so that kind of takes us to the end of the week. But leading into week number 2, I do want to point out to you here, we've got Venus in Taurus. Where's Venus? Venus over here in your first house. Super magnetic. Your personal magnetism is turned on. Your charisma is turned on. Your self-love is turned on. This is your I am presence. You might be interested in your appearance at this time, how people are perceiving you. This is a time where you might step onto a path that has a heart, a path of love. And you can see this energy up here, square Pluto in your 10th house of career. Now, once again, I don't look at life with challenges and problems. I look at life with opportunities for growth. When you look at life in that way, everything becomes like a fun experiment. And here you are experimenting with, what is my career? How am I going to feel fulfilled? What is my career? What do I need to do in my life to have a fulfilling path, an independent path, one where it feels good, it's full of love, but I'm also maybe doing something for the world up here. Pluto in Aquarius, Aquarius, the energy of the humanitarian, right? So you're thinking about this, and you might feel frustrated with the career you're currently in. But that frustration turns into something beautiful. It's like the trigger or the catalyst for your growth and evolution and change. Now, Pluto Venus aspects also relate to big money. I'm not talking Venus Jupiter kiss of money luck in the sky. I'm talking wealth, generating wealth, big wealth, billionaire energy in the sky. So you might have some big ideas there, especially career related, personal path, independence related. But this could also indicate like deep healing, transformational healing. Who am I? Who am I, first house? And am I only my career? Am I only the money that I earn? Is my value just the money that I earn? The answer is no, obviously, Taurus. But those could be questions that are on your mind and that you're contemplating at this time. Look at me go. I feel like I'm playing, what was that? Paint. Painter? Paint? You guys know what I'm talking about? All right. So this square, I'll shift over on the calendar down here and show you. It's lasting for, I don't know, until about June 12th, right? You can kind of see we're still a little bit connected, but it's kind of moved on. So till about June 12th. So June 9th to the 15th, week 2 of June, I'm calling the week to get right with yourself, Taurus, okay? We're starting off here on the 9th. We've got Mercury conjunct Jupiter. Mercury here, Jupiter here. Conjunct Jupiter squaring up with Neptune and Saturn conjunct over here. So this energy, this square is once again an opportunity for growth and evolution. It's going to feel like frustration. It's going to feel maybe like some inner tension inside of you around communicating out your gifts and talents, really going for the gusto around your curiosities, what you want to learn, how you want to present yourself, how you want to communicate, and the maturity, the discipline, the ability to bring it to life, right? Bringing your dreams to life. You've got a big idea. How can I bring it to life? I've got a big idea. It feels a little bit ungrounded. It's in the spiritual house. Or it could even be the opposite, which is, how do I communicate in a big way, Jupiter, Mercury conjunction, this spiritual essence and experience I'm having, right? Because you could be having a full-on spiritual awakening here, and you're like, how, like, I need to tell the world, like, I've got things I need to share, and this is big, right? It could be that too. So it could go either way for you. The important part is to not let it get you down, but use it as fuel to build. Moving forward on the 10th, let's see, let's get to the 10th. On the 10th, we have Venus in Taurus, tell Mercury in Cancer. And I'm also kind of circling Jupiter here too, because they're in a little bit of a conjunction. So it's like big, bold, manifesting power. This sextile here is you super magnetic. You're connecting with people. Your communication is magnetic. You're charming. You're charismatic at this time. Um, this is a time to really tap into your own energy, like your own empowerment, and realize that, Taurus, you have the ability to speak your desires into existence. That is what this is saying right here. And this goes on, by the way, the entire week. You can watch, as I move the chart, you can watch Venus and Mercury just going in alignment. Now, Jupiter falls off. Jupiter kind of stays where he's at because he's a slower moving planet. But you can see through the entire week, up until about the 17th, 18th, Venus and Mercury are still in alignment, dancing through the first and third house. So tap in, turn on your charisma, turn on your charm, turn on your beauty, use your voice, your soothing, beautiful Taurus voice, and speak out your desires to the universe. This is strong manifesting power. All right, and finally in the second week of the week to get right with yourself, we are looking at on the 9th. We'll bring it back to the 9th. We're looking at Uranus in Taurus, square Mars and Leo. Okay, so we can watch it move. Excuse me, my nose is a little itchy. You can watch it move through the 15th. And I only take it to the 15th because on the 16th, you can barely see it here on the chart, but Mars then enters into Virgo and we've lost the square. But this Uranus square Mars energy is going to, once again, feel like a little bit of frustration, a little bit of tension, but it's a catalyst for change. And Uranus in the highest expression is innovation in the first house of who you are. And Mars in the highest expression is bold, courageous action forward in your house of family. Okay, in your house of family. So you've got some tension here around like your individual path versus maybe your family life. But that tension is going to kind of bubble up into some sort of action, an action that helps transform your life and your family life. Now, whether that's like your family, like your mom, your siblings, your dad family, or if that's like you, your partner, your children family, but in some way, there is going to be some sort of kind of transformation that happens there in a positive way from this square energy. It's an opportunity, really, if you want to think about it in like a very positive and tangible way. It's an opportunity for you to like break out of a box. Maybe you feel stuck in a rut as it relates to your personal life and your family life. This energy is a chance for you to kind of break out of that box, get out of that rut, to kind of get unstuck, so to speak. All right, moving forward on the 16th, week number 3 of June, 16th through the 22nd, I'm saying the week of go big or go home. All right, Taurus, I'm having so much fun doing it this way. Let me know in the comments below if you're enjoying this format, because I'm really enjoying it, and I feel like it's much easier for me than the way I was doing my horoscope videos before. So let me know. I'm open to constructive criticism. I'm not open to rudeness, but I'm open to constructive criticism. Oops, what did I do there? All right. So let's get going. We're going to look at this energy, Jupiter in Cancer. Nice, Jupiter in Cancer. Sextile Mars in Virgo. Now let me move this forward a little bit so that you can see that Mars is in fact, I mean, you can barely see it, but Mars is in fact in Virgo. I'll just move it forward a day so that you can really see. Jupiter sextile Mars, right? Jupiter in your 3rd house of communication, Mars in your 5th house of your creativity, of enjoying your life. This is a time where you have an idea, or you have an action and you want to go big with it. You really want to take something big. And it could be that you have this like intellectual idea and you want it to go big. You want to go home in a creative pursuit type of way, in an entrepreneurial endeavor. You might have a big idea around creating a better life for yourself. And you're like, I'm doing it. I'm going for it. Now, you could be going for something in a big way as it relates to romance or children as well. because the fifth house does also involve romance and your children, and you've got Mars hanging out in that fifth house. So I'd say go big, do the damn thing. If you've got a dream in your heart and you've been sleeping on it and you've been kind of playing on the sidelines of your own life, this is a week to really step out of that. And Mars in the fifth house is all about creative pursuits and loving your life. I'm talking loving your life. So take action to start loving your life, Taurus. You've got this one that you're remembering, right? So enjoy it, because why not? And finally, the last week of June, I'm calling June 23rd to the 30th. I'm calling the week to manifest it all. I mean, this is such a beautiful month. It really is. There's so many high vibe potentials in the sky. We're going to kick off on the 24th here with this Jupiter cazimi. What is a cazimi? It is when a planet is kind of engulfed or entering into the heart of the sun. And what happens here is huge expansion energy. And for you, that expansion is happening once again in your third house. It would not surprise me, Taurus, if you find your voice this month. It's like you're like done keeping quiet. You're done like not sharing your truth. You're done not communicating out your value and the gifts that you bring to the world. And you're like kind of like you're just over it. And you're like, I'm going to use my voice, and I'm not just going to use my voice to like speak to be heard. I'm using my voice to manifest it all. So that would not surprise me with this big Jupiter energy in your third house. On the 25th, let's move it forward today. I'm going to keep this highlighted, because then what you're going to see on the 25th, oh my goodness, let's see if I can find out the timing of this. Oops, let's go this way. I want to get it really nice. Look at that. If it doesn't happen on the 24th for you, then use the energy of the new moon on the 25th to manifest, to send it out. What do you want, Taurus? What do you want? Don't be afraid to say it. It's a big manifesting day in the sky. All right, we're going to let go of that. I love a cazimi. I love talking about cazimis. I like the word cazimi. It's a fun word. And we're going to move forward to the 26th. So the 26th to the 30th, we've got two things happening in the sky. Start up here with Neptune and Saturn conjunct Mercury. It doesn't look like it here. Let me move it forward a little bit so we can see that Mercury has in fact entered into Leo. Trine Mercury over here in Leo in your fourth house. Now, once again, this is harmonious aspect. Your dreams, your big wishes fulfilled, bringing them down to earth as it relates to your home and your family life. This is a time where you might be receiving, with this Mercury energy, news about your family, about the family that you're hoping for, you're wishing for, you're dreaming about. You might be receiving spiritual messages, guidance, downloads, insights with this energy in your 12th and 4th houses. So pay attention through the remainder of the month, from the 26th onward, with this Mercury energy in your 4th house. There's some news that's coming to you around home, family, around the land even. You could be learning something very spiritual about the land, about our Mother Earth, about herbs, about how to properly work with the land, to be one with the land. Could be that you receive news in a very tangible way around like a new home, something like that as well, like making a dream come true around home matters as well, like buying a house, selling a house, that type of vibe. Now, at the same time that that is happening, where you're receiving these messages and seemingly out of door, I mean, pay attention to your dreams as well, because you might receive the messages in the dreams. At the same time that's happening, look at what we've got going on here. We've got Pluto in Aquarius up in your 10th house, down here across the sky from Mercury in your 4th house. So what is an opposition? It's kind of like a tug of war inside. It's like an internal tug of war. And this could indicate maybe power struggle. This could maybe indicate revisiting the balance between your home and family life, like your work-life balance, right? Your work and your family. But this opposition also gives you the power of putting power behind your words and really speaking things out into existence. Now, once again, around your home life, around your work. I mean, there might be power struggles in the work arena. There might be power struggles in the home life. It's really asking you to find some